I caught my wife with my boss. Ooh, let's get into it. This is gonna be juicy. So I, 39 male, just got my wife, 38 female of 14 years, together 17 years, cheating on me with her district manager of Armac Refreshment for about 2 years now. That's 2 years. I ain't just cheating. That's just like full blown affair. Let's get into it. Before I get into details, there is a backstory to all of this. I want you all to get a full picture and decide if she was entitled to cheat or did I just pay off a debt I owed. Entitled to cheat. I would say the only time that someone is entitled to cheat is if you cheated first. But even then, like it's never just break up normally. But like paybacks. Let's get into it. In 2012, I took my wife to get her tonsils removed at a hospital. They gave me her belongings and she couldn't take them as she couldn't take them inside the surgery room. Her phone kept buzzing. I took it upon myself to see who was blowing her up, and I read tons of inappropriate emails with another man at work. She was reading 50 Shades of Grey at the time. Ooh, spicy. And was referring to the man as her Christian Grey, something she would also call me. Let's get into it. I was pissed and wanted answers, but unfortunately, she couldn't talk after surgery. So, on the drive home, I handed her a piece of paper with a pen to answer all the questions I had, and she wrote it was nothing but flirting. Still, emotional cheating though. Mm, I don't buy that. If someone is like talking on emails like that, imagine what they are saying in person. Let's keep going. I grabbed my 2 year old and briefcase of clothes and went from California to Arizona on a mini weekend getaway with my support team, my best friend and his wife, to stay away from her for a while. Once back, she informed me that she deleted her email and it won't happen again. Let's keep going. Fast forward a few years, and I could never get over the fact that she would betray me the way that she did. I wanted to get even and felt it was the only way to move forward. I met a client who showed me some attention. Mmm, interesting. We started testing, and while my wife would go out with her friends and party, I would secretly leave my son with my mom and go see this woman. Ooh, interesting. Let's keep going. We had an affair and I eventually fell in love with this other woman. After about 9 months, my affair partner tells me she's pregnant. First thing that came to my head was playing Usher's confession song and actually confessing to my wife, which I did. She took it pretty well as she told me she had an idea and God was preparing her for that moment. I told her I wanted a divorce and would like to start a new life with this other woman. She told me we can work things out, go to church more, and get therapy from the pastor, and all would be great. How could I say no to that? Let's keep going. I had to break the news to the pregnant Afro partner who was under the impression that we were going to start a new life together and got bad news that we weren't. Fast forward a few months and I found out my wife is now pregnant. 3 months apart from the affair partner, she wanted to feel more secured over the other woman, so she basically forced us to have another child together. Okay. It's December 2014 and I went from having one kid to three kids in the blink of an eye. It's been crazy, but I'm there for all my kids. Now let's jump over to the present time. Ooh, this gotta be juicy. Wife and I have had our fair share of bumps on the road, but I truly am loving the way we are raising our beautiful children. I've come a long way and I've been faithful and committed to rebuilding our relationship. I go out of town for work from time to time, as does she. I just found out over the last 2 years she's been having an affair with her boss. Huh. Okay, this is like tit for tat sort of cheating situation. Like, are we sure we are not poly? Like, the circle of tit for tat has already been closed. The tit has already been tatted. Let's keep going. Every happy hour event after work, every time she spent doing overtime, every trip to San Diego or Valentine's Day in Portland, he was there keeping her warm in a hotel room. Yeah, and in 2 years is a long time. Like, that is a full blown relationship. Yeah, is how I found out. She wants for a drink after work and I ask, what time do you plan on being home? She tells me 9 p.m. 9 p.m. comes around and she's nowhere in sight. I call her and nothing. I got a text with a picture of her girl co-worker and it's informing me she just grabbed a few more drinks before heading out. I found it weird that she could text me but can't have a call. Yeah, no. It's because she was with someone that she shouldn't have been with. Let's keep going. I zoomed into the picture onto a napkin that was on the table and see where she's at. I drive 45 minutes from home to look for her and there she is. Araba with her boss with his arms around her. I woke up and they were both shocked to see me. Da na 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 na. She was quick to say, okay, bye. And I'm like, bye, but I just got here. Did I interrupt something? She proceeds to tell me she closed up her tab and she's leaving. I stay with her boss. The boss is drunk at this point and he's talking to me about his wife. Ooh, okay. He tells me that she doesn't pay attention to him and how they do whatever they want. This is the first time I met this guy and he's getting personal. Yeah, because he's trying to justify what he's doing. He asked me if I ever caught my wife cheating. And I proceed to tell him that I haven't. But if I do, it wouldn't be a pretty sight. Yeah, who's there? Because he's trying to justify what he's doing. He asked me if I ever caught my wife cheating. Ooh. And I proceeded to tell him that I haven't. But if I do, it wouldn't be a pretty sight. He orders another drink, and I see my wife calling him on his phone multiple times. I found that very odd. In the middle of his drink, he gets up and leaves to what I thought was the bathroom, but he actually leaves the bar. I take off home and I have tons of questions for my wife. Her response was, I'm sorry, I should have told you. He was with us as well. I've never been the jealous type, and a friend told me to check my records. Oh my god. Like, my heart dropped when I found out she's been talking to him Monday to Friday after work for 15 to 30 minutes at a time. I confronted her with all the phone bills extending to 2 years ago, and she informed me that after work she has end of day reporting to do and he needs those numbers to report to his boss. It was such a good lie. That is a good lie. Keep in mind she's not on salary and clocks in and out. So from an HR point of view, reporting numbers after clocking out would be considered illegal. I need proof of their conversations, but how? I decide to record their conversations. I'm not gonna mention how I did it, but once I heard what was said, my heart broke into a million pieces. She had conversations with her own cousin talking about how much he brings excitement to her life. And it's not only the spicy time, but how funny and goofy he is. She talked about how dumb I was to believe the end of day calls were real. I don't know if that's dumb. I think that's a very good lie. Let's keep going. My wife said how they would have to lay low for a while, and where there is a will, there is a way. And then there is a conversation between the two of them where they talked about how much they loved one another and how they will make each other feel. Straight cut. Like, the audacity of this woman to like demand that you stay with her while also cheating. This is real toxic, dude. I knew I was furious, but I didn't know what to do. You could have gone off and had like a happy life with your affair partner. She made you stay. Let's keep going. I knew I was furious, but I didn't know what to do. Do I go to the HR? My wife just got a promotion. Should I tell them it's because she's having spicy time with her boss? I did the only thing I could think of. I contacted his wife. I did a ton of research with some help, of course, from a good buddy that loves drama. Contacted his wife on LinkedIn and waited for her call. She did, and I told her everything I knew. Yeah, I'm interested to know if cause like he said she lets me do whatever I want, like I did ton of research with some help, of course, from a good buddy that loves drama. Contacted his wife on LinkedIn and waited for a call. She did, and I told her everything I knew. Yeah, I'm interested to know if cause he said, like, she lets me do whatever I want. You know, does she know that? Let's keep going. We put dates together and they have been having a blast for years now while we were both being played for fools. We did a 4-way call, but they denied it even after the recordings. They both finally came clean. Now I have to ask myself, do I stay for the kids or leave her because my debts from my wrongdoings have been paid? She's begging for me back, but I've moved out and picked up the kids to take them to school every morning. She still works under him and swears it won't happen again. Yeah, but she's already said that. And then not only did it happen again, but it was like 2 years of betrayal. This is not just like a one time slip up. This is like multiple times. And not only did she slip up, she prevented you from moving on and having a life with someone else, while at the same time having her cake and eating it too. Let's keep going. So she still works under him and swears it won't happen again. But how can I trust that after 2 years of loving another man? She let him into her heart and pants and her ooh. Is this my chance to leave her and start a fresh new life, or do I stick around to make sure my kids grow up with an undivided family? Is there hope for this toxic, unhealthy marriage? No. Should I get the district manager fired for his wrongdoing in all of this? Yeah. What should I do next? I know two wrongs don't make a right. I'm here for advice if anyone has successfully kept their family together for the sake of their children. I mean, listen, I don't necessarily have any experience with that. I do know that staying with her, like, she's already proved to you that she can keep her promises. Like you said, two wrongs don't make a right. I found it interesting that, like, it's clear from her conversations with her boss that she's either planning on leaving or she makes her boss think that she's planning on leaving. And yet now when confronted with the choice, now all of a sudden she doesn't want to leave. You've already given a second chance. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Why? Like, yes, your kids are gonna grow up kind of in a broken home, but at the same time, you also wanna have like a good model for love. You wanna show them what love really looks like. And I don't think that you'll be able to do that if we stay. Yeah, sure. She also like baby trapped him. You both did wrong, okay? I feel like you really need a fresh start with someone and end this kind of circle of toxicity and like cheating on each other and like lying and like I don't think it's worth it. I don't think you're ever gonna trust her again. I don't think that's a healthy marriage at all. But let's check the comments. There is always comments, so let's hear other people's opinion. And then the top slash relevant comments. Here's the thing. First of all, you have a very toxic relationship with this woman. This is a bad situation to raise your kids up in. I agree. No matter what happens, the kids will feel this. Yeah, they will be able to tell. Like mommy and daddy are fighting all the time. Why are mommy and daddy like not touchy feely? Then never kiss. Like I would have a problem kissing someone that I don't trust. They will observe it and they will think that's how relationships are supposed to be and will be doomed to have terrible relationships in the future. If you want to do the right thing, even though you screwed up before, she screwed up before you. So you have been on an even playing field even after each of you cheated. But now she's gone on and had another 2 years with this guy. What you need to do is get a lawyer and get her served at work and make sure you retain all your relationships information of her and him. Present that to the lawyer. You need to go gray rock for those videos. You know what gray rocking is? It's when you are dealing with like, you know, you don't react, you just kind of like, you know, stuff like that. Yep. Like, yellow rocking is a little different. Yellow rocking is like, yeah, okay. But gray rocking is different. So let's keep going. You need to gray rock on 180 on her and she should move out where you stay with the kids. OP response. Love your input. Sometimes you get so used to a person that you can't really picture yourself without them. She was with him a day before my birthday. The day of my birthday, we took the family to Disneyland. Found out the next day about all of this. It just sucks. I understand, and believe me, like, this hits really close to home in terms of like people that I know that are in relationships that are like, you just get so comfortable. Their life is so intertwined. Yeah, your life's gonna blow up. Life as you know it is going to change. Maybe it could change for the better. That's my advice, and it seems like most people agree. But what do you think? What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section.